Here's a question that most leaders and performers never really ask themselves. And it's not about their strategy. It's not about their team. It's not about the market. It's this one. Is the thinking I am doing right now actually good? Is it of a high quality? And not busy thinking, not fast thinking, not confident thinking, and definitely not positive thinking. High quality thinking. Because here's something that I see after 25 years of working with some of the most driven, talented people on the planet. There is an unspoken of, unseen epidemic going on right now. And most people in it, in my view, have no idea that they are infected with this epidemic. And the epidemic is of low quality thinking. And the cost is not just bad decisions. It's really the slow erosion of your best work, your clearest judgment, and ultimately the life and the leadership that you are actually capable of, your actual potential. Now, what we're going to explore today in this episode, honestly, I think could be the most important 10 minutes that you spend this year. That's a big claim, Shane. So we have to back it up. So let's see where we go. The core point that I want to get across today is the quality of your thinking determines the quality of everything in your life. Your decisions, your leadership, your relationships, your health, and your results. So it's not your intelligence, not how high your IQ is. It's not your experience, no matter how great it is. It's not even your work ethic, which is all very important. What I'm talking about is something that affects sports people, leaders, and parents, just ordinary people. It's the quality of your thinking. But yet, almost nobody I know treats thinking as a skill to be protected and developed. Like we'll try and protect our calendar, we'll protect our budget, we'll protect our reputation, but we don't actually protect the conditions that allow us to actually think in a high quality way. Now, the late Nobel Prize winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman spent his career studying how humans think and make decisions. And his conclusion wasn't flattering to the human race and probably a little bit uncomfortable. We are not the rational, deliberate thinkers that we believe we are. Most of the time, we are reacting. We're pattern matching. We're defaulting to what is fast and familiar. That was his conclusion from decades of studying how humans think. There's a brilliant woman called Nancy Klein, and she's one of the world's leading thinkers on human performance. She also made a similar observation. The quality of your attention, she said, determines the quality of your thinking. But most environments that we're in today's world are quietly destroying both. They are destroying quality of our attention with all these interruptions and distractions. And as a result, they're destroying the quality of our thinking. Now, I'm Irish, and increasingly I'm taking more of an interest in the traditions of the very rich Celtic Irish heritage. And in Ireland, there's an old phrase, spás machnamh. I hope I'm saying that right. Spás machnamh. It means a space for reflection. And my ancestors, I think, understood something that the world has forgotten. It's that thinking needs space, a spás machnamh, a space, a certain type of space for reflection, or what I would call flow type thinking, which is high quality thinking. And that kind of thinking needs space, it needs stillness, it needs an inner looseness, it needs less tension. So it needs certain inner conditions. And that's the point that I'm trying to get across today, is that none of us are short of information at all, especially now with the age of AI and unbelievable podcasts. And we're not short of intelligence. We're in the age now of incredible intelligence, particularly with AI coming in at such an accelerated rate. But we are short of the conditions that allow for your best thinking to emerge. Now, think about maybe the last important decision that you made. Where were you when you made it? What were you doing? Were you in a meeting room under pressure with 5 other things already running in the background? Were you on your phone, scrolling between WhatsApp and notifications? Were you at your desk with half an eye on your inbox, half an eye on Slack or WhatsApp, message Teams? Or were you somewhere quiet with genuine space, fully present in the moment? Which one do you think it was? For most people, it's going to be some version of the latter. You know, I think also most people that I work with, if they're honest, they can't remember the last time that they had real thinking time until the penny starts to drop and they realize, hang on, I need to prioritize this type of time. What I might call thrive time. Time for you to have space to think about higher quality thinking to allow you to genuinely create a life where you thrive. It's not planning time, it's not problem solving time, and it's definitely not meeting time or email time. It's high quality thinking time. We might even just create a little acronym for that, HQTT, high quality thinking time. There you go. It was born today. But when I ask my clients, what their best decisions have in common, the answer is nearly always the same. They just will say a version of, I somehow went into this space where I just felt calm and something just became very clear to me. It was just, boom, it was right there in front of me. And the question isn't whether you're capable of high quality thinking. The question is whether you are creating the conditions for it, because as a human, you have innate capability for high quality thinking. It is built into you. It is not a technique. In fact, it's the opposite. If there's any technique, is to learn how to relax your mind. Now, it's funny, I took some clients out last Friday for a hike in the morning up in the beautiful area of Glendalough, which is in Wicklow, county of Wicklow, very close to where I live. And again, it's just, there was many reasons even for me not to take that time out. I have a lot going on in my life at the moment. My mum is very, very sick. There's a lot of driving up and down to my homestead of Kilkenny, which is the southeast of Ireland. Businesses is busy, life is busy. And, there's probably less time I think that might have been my second hike for this year. It's one of my favorite things to do, but I just haven't had time. And so in a way, I was the beneficiary of making time to take my clients out for a hike. But it's just amazing to me, even just as we walked, it was a 3-hour hike outside, fresh air, good people, good conversation. And this kind of inner space comes in if you let it. And for me, it did. And it was just fantastic. But I just felt this real quality come in, this clarity come in that just brought with it that flow thinking, that high quality thinking. And over the following 24 hours, and probably even since then, I just got some real clarity about insights, about changes to make, improvements to make, personal and professional. I got answers to questions. It was like an explosion of clarity, but it was all triggered by the conditions inside. And that was created by just taking time out to go on a hike. Now, if you've read my book, The Inner CEO, or listened to it, or if you worked with me or to some of my programs, you'll know I use the metaphor of your mind as like a snow globe. And, if you can picture a snow globe, when it's shaken, everything is swirling. You can't see through it. And you can't see clearly what's inside. It might be a little object or it could be a phrase. And that is what a busy, pressured, reactive mind looks like. But when the snow globe is still, when the swirl settles, everything becomes clear. You can see exactly what is there. And high quality thinking doesn't happen in that swirl. It happens when you let things settle. And sometimes that will happen deliberately if you can do it, like a hike will, maybe if you go into it and use it that way. And sometimes it just happens by accident. You're not quite sure how you got there. Maybe it's from a walk, a swim, a sauna, who knows? But what I love is the fact once you understand the dynamics of a snow globe, it's much easier to consciously create that inner space, and that high quality thinking comes in as a default. And the people who make the best decisions, in my experience, are not always the smartest people in the room. They're often the people who have learned somehow how to get still enough to see clearly, to allow for that inner space for higher level thinking. So what about you? I want to give you 3 questions to consider and reflect on this week, if you're open to it, to create your own spas machnav that I was referring to earlier on. Number 1, when did you last have genuine space for higher quality thinking? Not to react, not to plan, not to problem solve, just to reflect and allow this kind of flow thinking to come in. That's real thinking. Number 2, what is the quality of the inner conditions you're bringing to your most decisions right now? Are you tired? Are you frustrated? Are you tense? Are you even open to considering if you are? Or are you calm, clear, and centered, what I call a 3C state? Which one are you? What's your gut saying? And then number 3, what would change in your leadership, your work, your life if you genuinely committed to protecting the conditions for your best quality thinking? What would change? So maybe sit with those questions at some point today, and maybe later in the week, revisit them over a cup of coffee or a walk and sit with them. You don't need to answer them right now, but let them go into the soil of your mind and come back to them and see what answers emerge that you can take action on. And to close out, I think, the culture we're in today, especially in the Western world, we talk a lot about working harder or working smarter, about doing more, about hustle, about graft, about grit. But we almost never talk about how to think better. But yet it sits right underneath everything. So what I'd most like you to take out of this particular episode is that, I suppose at this point, you can't think your way out of a situation that your inner state created. You need to move into a different zone of higher quality thinking and realize that that isn't just a function of, it's not even a function of your intellect. It's a function of the quality of your inner environment, the quality of your inner world. And when you realize that and then raise the value and the importance of protecting it like it really matters, then everything changes. That's it for this week. Ciao for now.